Good Wednesday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, it's not just cut down day yesterday, it's cut today as well. Ryder Cup announcements about to happen. Press conference is starting here shortly. But Dale Hellestrae survived so far. He's here. Dale Hellestrae's here, everybody.
Good morning, Steve. You seem like you got a little bit more energy this morning.
Let's go!
Are you just looking forward to somebody being really upset that doesn't make the Ryder Cup
There's
team?
nothing more exciting than people losing their dreams, Dale.
Oh, goodness.
That is the stuff I live for. Dreams being crushed. And nowadays with today's technologies, if you pause it at the right time, you can literally see their hearts crushed. No, that's not it at all. You survived golf yesterday.
I did survive golf.
Who won?
My son-in-law and I took on Kevin Ray and John Holmberg.
Yeah.
Kevin Ray, good-looking dude. Do you know he's 60 years old?
No, I had no idea. Yeah,
60 years old.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Looks like he's my age.
He works out like a fiend, takes care of himself, but for as good as he looks, it's kind of awkward in athletic events.
Here comes the insult. Well, that's why he broadcasts it instead of playing it.
Like John said at some point yesterday, he goes, I think that Kevin Ray might be left-handed and just not know it.
Oh, it's that awkward of a. Oh, wow. All right.
But and Scott's pretty good, and
Scott can hit the crap out of the ball.
Yes, and so we ended up winning dinner from those guys.
Yeah, I told you I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
Yep.
Holmberg can't be any good at it.
Actually, John played really good yesterday.
Really?
I mean, he hit probably 7 or 8 drives that were close to 300 yards. He played as good as I've ever seen him play.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's the difference. Well, you take all this time off. I mean, you spend time to get good at golf.
I'm still waiting here for the update from his buddy Brady.
I was going to say, you didn't hear anything yesterday?
He was out of surgery. I just was making sure he made it through the night. They were having a little bit of fun with that, and
but yeah, I'm sure he got the update saying he's out. Now he's got to recover. It's a whole thing. Probably he slept all day. It doesn't matter,
Right.
So like you said, getting out over the night and stuff like that. But yeah. It'd be nice to have an update. We'd like to break the news here.
Wait, they're on vacation.
Yeah, I know. So we'll break the news about Brady. Get that update in there, please, so we can get that started from that side. So yeah, it's all good. Glad you won. I told you yesterday you better go win that thing. Just knowing who you're playing, you better win it.
And a surprisingly nice day. It's
just humid.
There's a little breeze. There was some cloud cover.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I was drinking water the night before. I was drinking water on the way here, on the way to the golf course.
Yeah, good.
Fully expecting
hole 3, you're like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I drink too much water.
Fully expecting to be just humid and hot.
The humidity hit me yesterday. I didn't even do much. I left here and had some appointments I had to go to with the kids, and I got home from that. I don't even know what time, and I don't remember anything.
Well, Chinese food will do that to you too.
Yeah, well, fake Chinese food, panda. Just because you throw a panda on your as
logo.
your mascot doesn't mean it's real Chinese food. Kids picked it, though. I haven't had panda in a while. But I got home, man. I don't remember anything after I got home. I was out.
Really?
Out. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll blame the humidity. Yeah, it was weird. You were looking for me last night, and I didn't respond. It's not because I was out having fun at like 6 o'clock. I rolled over. I rolled over at one point. I looked at my phone, and it said 7:28. And I went, how did I fall asleep? Like, how long have I been asleep?
Did you already go to bed, or you fall asleep on the couch?
No, I was asleep. I was in my bed.
Oh, you went?
Yeah. I don't even remember going upstairs. I don't even remember, like, laying down. Nothing.
Did you plug your car in?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did that. No, I did.
Okay.
It's good. It's good today, folks. Yeah, so it was weird, man. I was like, what the heck just happened to me?
I can't go to sleep at 6:30.
Well, I didn't mean to.
Well, you're living a pretty good life when you can just go lay in bed at 6:30 and say, all right.
I didn't say any of that, though. That's my point, Dale, is I don't remember any of it. So tired I was.
I mean,
Apparently,
you got guys getting cut, dreams being crushed.
Yeah,
and there's Steve
sleeping like a baby. Guys are going like, man, I got to go get a real job now, and I'm just sitting there cuddled up with my blankie,
Wow.
sleeping like a baby last night, Dale.
No heart McCullum.
I didn't even think about that side of the joke or anything. So, Keegan Bradley is speaking right now. They've already obviously announced who's qualified. He's got prepared remarks. He's speaking. He's flipping the pagers over and all of that stuff.
You got this on video somewhere?
Yeah, it's on RyderCup.com.
Oh, really?
RyderCup.com/live. Well, when you go to Ryder Cup, it's the first thing that pops up there.
Okay.
Obviously, we can't listen to it because we're yapping over here. But obviously, NFL cuts yesterday across the thing. I said yesterday there'll be no surprises from the Cardinals, and a surprise right off the bat. Hey, thanks for that, Cardinals. The short answer of it is, and the big surprise, of course, was Aaron Brewer, long snapper, cut again this year. Dude, well, you said they do that for the roster positions to bring him back. But when you said this happened to you in Dallas, and I didn't ask you yesterday because it hit me, but I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. When they you got back on, you were happy. You're happy. No, I'm meaning in context of, but now I'm curious. When they come to you to say for you to get cut, and then we're bringing you right back, and you know the situation, is there like a little side money on that for putting you through that, or is it just for helping the team out, or is it just it's this or you're gone?
No, they actually. I did say it yesterday. I know you weren't listening to me, but there was a small incentivization.
But was it money?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't think you said money though, did you?
Well, I said incentive. I mean,
Yeah, but then you're like, we went golfing instead of going to the facility. So I thought maybe that meant your incentive was you missed practice that day.
Well, that was a double entendre. Yeah, we didn't have to go to practice, and got a little bit extra.
I don't think you said money, and that's why last night I think that's why, early this morning because I was asleep last night. But that's why this morning I was like, wait. Like, did he get paid for that, or what was it?
Because
there's got to be a compensation for helping him out, right?
I think they did it 3 times, and then the rules changed, so they stopped doing it. But one of the 3 years, the Redskins called, now Commanders, and there was one other team I can't remember that called and said, "We'll sign you right now."
Well, that's the thing. If I was another team, I'd be calling Aaron Brewer's agent and being like, "Let's go." But that's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at. There's something written down where Aaron Brewer's coming back, and the agreement has to be a monetary agreement because otherwise he can get poached.
Yes.
If somebody calls up, I'm just going to hype. Somebody calls up and goes, "We'll give you an extra $1 million to come long snap for us."
Yeah.
You'd be stupid not to go take
or
that.
just in extra $100,000.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'd be dumb not to take. So there has to be. And my thought is there has to be something written down before you do it, saying, you're coming back here. This is the amount you're getting for staying with us and coming back here, kind of like a placeholder situation. Because you'd be dumb as a team not to call somebody and say, get over here right now.
You know, it's interesting because now that you just started talking about that, 2 other things happened to me. Because Plan B free agency was still going in 90 and 91.
Yeah, rules were way different back then. I understand that.
And Jimmy called me into his office. He said, "Dale, you're in our plans." Under lock and key.
You have to preface it with that.
he opens this thing, and it's super secretive. He opens it up, and he said, "Here's our roster for next year."
Okay.
And like when I've told you, 49, 50 of the 53 guys are.
Yeah.
And he goes, "This is where you are." So what we'd like to do to be able to protect some young guys is expose you to Plan B free agency. Mm-hmm. We'll give you an extra sum of money, and it was a little more substantial than the day cut. Yeah. If you will tell us that you'll promise you'll resign.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be a big enough dollar amount that you don't leave, right?
Well, yeah, and it was.
Well, I mean, if they're offering you $10,000 to be cut for a day or two and then come back, and somebody calls you up and says, you know, we'll honor your contract that you had with them, plus give you an extra $200,000. I mean, it's not worth staying if it's only $10,000. Is my point.
But the thing is, as long snappers, you're not getting that big of a bump.
Yeah.
Plus, it's do I bet you've been in Dallas now 3 years, and you kind of know the lay of the land.
Yeah,
and wife has friends.
Changing teams is not easy.
And guess what? You're kind of entrenched there. You've got the trust of the coaching staff. You go to Washington, they blow out their coaching staff the next year.
Yeah, you're stuck.
You just never know.
Who was the coach back then? Was that Gibbs?
That was Gibbs, because Norv Turner, I think, took over for him.
I believe so. Yeah, because Norv went up there. So that's what I mean. So it was Gibbs. It wasn't Norv at that time.
Right.
Because if Norv would have called, would that been a different situation? Is my point. That's what I was getting at.
That would have made the decision probably a tad bit more difficult.
Because you obviously have a relationship
Yeah.
with him. You don't have one with Joe Gibbs in terms of a coach-player relationship, but Norv Turner you did.
And I think it was Charlie Casserly was the general manager.
Yeah, so it's that'd be fascinating to see, but so that all hit me this morning when I was looking at going over everything. But DJ Dallas cut, that obviously was the big surprise right in the initial side. Michael Carter didn't surprise me; he was cut. He was kind of the odd man out. But DJ Dallas being your return guy, on top of everything else. Bam Knight making the squad. Nobody had him making the squad,
right.
which tells me this. They really, 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 really like Bam Knight. And they knew if they put him into waivers, they were not going to get him back.
Well, and that's the thing. Understand that some of the cuts versus keeps, you're trying to gauge around the league.
Yeah.
Who was gonna be
Yeah.
plucked away with a possibility more, this guy or this guy?
Well, here's the other side. I mean, you can go, okay, we want you back on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Well, another team calls and goes, we'll put you on the 53-man roster, guaranteed contract for the year. You're going to go do that over going up and down off the practice squad all year. And with the not the guarantee of playing, being on the roster at that point. So, so that was the shocker there. Bam Knight makes it, of course. Fehoko, by the way, did get cut, but he put out on social media he's coming back on the practice squad.
Okay.
So our guy that performed well in preseason as a receiver, one of the few receivers that performed well, and he did it with Clayton Tune throwing him the football. So that's even more impressive.
Yes.
Clayton Tune throws a beautiful football. I was watching some of his stuff yesterday before I left here. He throws a beautiful football. It's just that's it. I'm so negative on the guy at that point. Those were the shocking things. Other than that, it pretty much went as you thought for the Cardinals at that point. Now, obviously, it's not changed because you got to bring Brewer back on. So the other thing I was reading was you can only expose X amount of people to the PUP list or IR to return before your rosters are set. So there's going to be, I'm guessing, from what I'm reading, there's going to be another person that's put on IR designated to return in the next day or two, and that's going to open up a spot to bring Brewer back or somebody else back, type of a situation. Right. And then on top of it, the practice squad today. Everybody clears waivers today at 1 o'clock, and then you can sign with practice squad, pick up your practice squad people after that. But that's what I was reading yesterday was their anticipation is somebody else is going on IR to return. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it yesterday, so that's why they had to do these types of games and stuff like that. But it's fascinating to read just what goes into this nowadays, man.
Yeah, it's like every league now has these little nuances. The NBA and their damn salary cap and aprons and this, that, and the other thing. And the NFL, you've got. So you have to be on the active roster on the 53-man roster, and then the day after everything is set, then you can be put on. The
you don't, as a veteran, you don't get your guaranteed salary because games don't start till Thursday of next week. You don't get your guaranteed salary for being on the roster for week 1 until Sunday.
Okay.
So that's still not, there's still those games you can play. But if you're a veteran, if you're a longtime veteran, you're not getting cut. You would have been cut already. They're not, right? Most of the time, they're not going to flirt with somebody and be like, "Oh, you're on," and then cut them on Saturday or Sunday for a longtime veteran, right?
That would be shocking.
Yeah.
I don't think you hear about that very often, but that is something also that's changed, and that was in the mid '90s to where it used to be, hey, they cut you after week 4, you're done.
Yeah.
And then somehow, some way, it got worked in, and if you're on the opening day roster, your salary's
And
guaranteed.
it's when you're a veteran, I don't know what year it is. It's not year one, I know that. But a certain year, it might be year 3, to be honest with you. It might be 4, but you're guaranteed your salary if you're on there come Sunday for week 1. Doesn't matter. You can get cut in week 2,
Yes.
not play another down. You're getting that paycheck, whatever your contract is for the rest of the year. On top of that, so for the pup list, Walter Nolan Jr. or Walter Nolan III, excuse me. Sorry about that. No surprise there. JG hinted at it. This is what's disappointing. And I'll just say this, because people are like, you can come back after game 4, folks. We're going to be lucky to see him at all this year.
Don't you think it's just so eerie how similar this and Darius Robinson last year?
Shocking difference. The difference is Darius Robinson got some work in before he got injured. Darius Robinson was there for off-season camps, came into preseason. Did he play in the first preseason game, or did it happen right before or
I don't
right
think
after?
he played in any
Okay, but he was
preseason
there for practice. Walter Nolan has been down for a long time. So if you're on the pup list, and you're able to come back after 4 games, you can't practice. So what you do is so when you are designated to come back, so it's 4 weeks of nothing. No practice, no games, no nothing with the team. Week 4, then that's the first week you can designate them to come back. Then you get 21 days to where they can put you on the active roster. If you remember this, Darius Robinson went through this last year. They didn't designate him to come back till like week 5 or something. And then they brought him back, and then it was like, all right, like day 20, it's like, are they going to put him on the roster or you lose your season?
Right.
And all that. So it can be stretched out, but he's got no practice, no reps as a rookie. He's not going to be designated to come back to week 5, week 6, and then it's going to take him 3-4 weeks, 21 days. And then you have to put him on the roster, and then you have to get him up at that point. It's going to be a lost season for him is what I'm getting at, just like last year was with Robinson. And it's stop drafting defensive linemen, man.
In the first round.
Yeah, year 2 of that wasn't. I went back to look at like the draft analysis of Nolan and stuff like that. And when he was drafted, there was questions on how much he loved the game of football.
Yep. And then I thought in minicamp or something that some of the coaches came out and dispelled that.
Yeah, well, they did that after the draft. They were like, no, everybody we talked to said he wasn't that. I'm going to be this guy now. This is going to tell us if he loves the game or if the pre-draft stuff was more accurate. Because just think about it for a minute. You're ready to play, rookie season, calf injury. Literally aren't doing anything out there. You're out for 4 weeks. It's easy to get, I'm going to use the term fat and lazy, right? It's easy to not do that. Just collect your check. And then when it's time to come back, right, maybe not work as hard to come back because you're kind of not there. This is going to test if it's what the coaching staff says about him or if it's what the pre-draft talk was about him, where he doesn't always work very hard. It was basically the pre-draft stuff said about Walter Nolan. So this is going to be fascinating to see here, which Walter Nolan comes out here, because we're going to find out the truth. B.J. Ojulari is on the PUP list as well, and then Bilal Nichols also on the PUP list to come back. Then I knew Hayden Connor. They had to keep him. When he got injured, that actually may help them make an easier decision. He's on the IR designated to return, and then Christian Jones, offensive lineman, also IR designated to return. But J.J. Russell, because I mentioned him the other day, and I'm like, what are they doing with that guy? Well, IR and his season's over. That obviously, knocked unconscious in that one of the first practices and stuff like that, concussion. So it must be bad enough that he's not going to make it back this year for him.
And
so
you probably can't cut him because he's hurt. And
that's the thing. I mean, with his contract, that's the thing. Like, you never hear of veterans with decent-sized contracts getting injury settlements like you do a rookie or a young guy. So, so I think it might be one of those things where, well, it's not worth, because you only get 8 guys that are on the IR designated to return.
Okay.
And you're going to need some of those as the season goes on.
Right.
As well. So you don't waste those spots, right? Because then otherwise you get into week 5, week 6, and you lose somebody for 4 weeks. You can fill the roster spot. You can play those roster games. And all of a sudden, if you don't have a spot there to bring them back, then you're stuck with the guy that can't play on the roster, and it downplays you from that side. But other than that, man, there was no other surprises, on the cuts from that perspective. Now, it'll be interesting. Now, a lot of big names did get cut. If I was the Cardinals on this, you gotta go. Like when I saw Adam Thielen available, I was like, oh, you gotta go get Thielen, man. But now that's out because he was traded to the Vikings this morning. Tim, I want to call him Tim Lyons, but that's not his name. Tim Park was traded from the Lions to somebody today. I think Green Bay maybe. But he was traded today as well. So some of these known receivers are getting traded from teams, and we've seen it recently as well. But I think the Cardinals need to bolster up that wide receiver core a little bit.
And there are some names out there, some names you've heard of. The other thing, when you talk about some of these trades, I mean, they're usually for 6th-round picks or 7th-round picks.
A lot of trades, though, this offseason.
But what happens is the reason teams do that is because for right now, it reverts back to last year. Whatever the draft order is.
So Titans have the number one.
So if they put a claim in on a guy, 6 teams can put a claim in on a guy, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the person with the highest slotting, which starts with Tennessee.
And if Tennessee gets somebody, they stay at 1. It used to be you'd rotate down to 32.
Right.
No, until I think it's week 4. Titans have the number 1 waiver wire pick until like week 4 before they start adjusting it. I was reading on Thielen's position that the Panthers liked him. They liked him a lot, but there was an agreement made where we're not gonna let you go for nothing. So that's why an agreement. And the Vikings gave up a lot for a guy. Normally, like you said, the Park trade was a 6th-round draft pick. Yeah. That's usually what you get now. But that's where, like you said, that's where they're like, all right, this guy's going to get picked up from somebody before. Because the Vikings obviously have a number in the 20 or late 20s because of how they went in the playoffs and stuff like that. But so that's why you see this stuff now. But if I was the Cardinals, man, that's what I would be looking at today. Be on that phone with wide receiver groups, going, hey, because if you're a pretty good wide receiver and you should be on a team and you have your choice, you're like I said, I don't know why you wouldn't want to come play in Arizona. And then you come in and you'll have no pressure on top of it because Marvin Harrison's the number 1, right? Garrett Wilson's another one here. So you come in and you'll have no pressure on you to come in, like a Zay Jones last year. It didn't do anything. Come in and deal with that. So it's going to be fascinating, to see what happens that side. But I saw also the thoughts are Titans are expected to do at least 12 to 15 waiver claims today on people that were cut yesterday. I mean, that's a team that's void of talent. You got to fill talent, stuff like that. That's a lot.
We got a new coach.
Yeah.
And you want
new quarterback.
And you want to implement your kind of organization. And so a lot of times out with the old and in with the new.
Yeah, well, that's what's weird to me, though, because if you're picking up a guy that was cut on another team, one, you got to come in and learn your system, all of that stuff, and then you don't know if he's going to be a fit unless you've dealt with him before.
That, or you scouted him, or you're back. A lot of these guys are first, second, third-year guys, so you've already done your study on them coming out of college, and that gives you a little heads up there.
Cardinals did keep a 4th tight end. Travis Vokolek did make the initial 53 roster. That was kind of a surprise.
Right.
We expected only McBride, Ryman, and Higgins to make it at that point. Xavier Weaver was the 5th receiver that ended up making it from that perspective there. And I like, now, offensive line-wise, they kept 9 on the initial 53.
Right.
Is that a lot? Don't you normally go 7?
No.
Oh, no, you go 9?
Yeah, you go 8 or 9.
Do you? Initially right after that. Because Will Hernandez was taken off the PUP list and added. That was a surprise to me.
You go in with 8 or 9, and then game day you're going to sit 2 of them.
Yeah, okay.
You'll usually go in with 8.
The only reason I was questioning it because I thought Will Hernandez was just going to start on the PUP list.
Yeah.
And they took him off the PUP list and put him in there. So I was like, all right, somebody else is getting cut on that. But, I mean, everybody they kept, I don't know who you get rid of other than Josh Fryer, who's actually not very bad at all. He's probably the last guy on the roster depth chart for the offensive linemen. But John Gaines, Will Hernandez, Kevin Beachum, they're not cutting those guys. They're going to get picked up in 2 seconds by anybody else out there. So, but really 9. Okay.
So what's
7,
interesting
8.
it was part of my job security. Was there? I can't count how many games we went in with only 7 offensive linemen.
That's how I know it goes.
No, wait.
Really?
I guarantee you, if you pay attention, every team, I would say 98% of teams go with 8. Now, what made me valuable was the fact that I could play guard and center.
If
And
they
they
needed
could,
you.
and they knew they could get through a game with me. So there were plenty of games we went in with 7, which means now they can dress another DB,
Yeah, well, exactly.
or another wide
Yeah.
receiver, or whatever. And I also was their long snapper,
Yeah.
so it wasn't just a long snapper, and now you have to dress an extra offensive lineman and all
Exactly.
that.
Yeah,
So-
you fill both spots. I don't.
Yeah.
Aaron Brewer, I don't think I've ever heard
No.
of being able to play an
No.
offensive line position, right?
No. You have to be
so-
special, Steve, to be able to do that.
I didn't mean to laugh when you said that. let me bring that back. Say it again. I won't laugh this time.
You have to be special, Steve.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Can't do it.
That's my guy. That's my friend right there.
Different times back then, Dale. Different times back then. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I'm interested in seeing Jordan Birch. Obviously, draft pick made it as well. Xavier Thomas as an outside linebacker. Inside linebacker Cody Simon made it there, but I think you have to bring 4 inside linebackers in. But he's the one. Cody Simon was the one that ends up getting there at that point. But the cornerback, right? A lot of talk about cornerbacks. Lots of injuries this year. Obviously, Will Johnson, Garrett Williams, Max Melton all got there. Denzel Burke, Catrell Clark, and Elijah Jones. That's the room that's going to change a lot throughout the season, I think. Either from injuries to not being able to play, getting exposed for some games. I think that's the room that we're going to see a lot of movement. And not from Will Johnson, Garrett Williams, and Max Melton. It's going to be from Denzel Burke, Catrell Clark, and Elijah Jones is probably where we might see some rotation throughout the year there as well. So, yeah.
All right, so the news is in.
This better not be bad news.
Ryder Cup team's been announced.
I know, I got it right here. He was. They didn't throw up any graphics or nothing. They were just like. The closed captioning here is what I was reading.
Yes. And,
How disappointed are you?
very. This team's going to get their ass kicked. Freaking kidding me?
I told you.
So the 6 captain picks, and one of the biggest things was Keegan Bradley going to pick himself?
Oh, before you say this, an hour before this press conference happened, Tom Watson came out and said Keegan Bradley would be stupid to pick himself. Watson,
Yeah.
famed golfer Watson, Ryder Cup lore, came out and said, Keegan Bradley, you will make the biggest mistake of your life if you pick yourself for the Ryder Cup to play in it. Did Keegan Bradley pick himself, Dale?
He did not.
I know. I'm shocked by that. I'm floored by this. Floored by this, which tells me either somebody got to him or he realized why nobody's done it since Arnold Palmer back in 1963.
And believe, as everybody knows, believe me, back in 1962 or 60, whatever it was.
But it was a different game back then.
There was no media back then. There was no responsibilities. You chose your team, and then you set the pairings out.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more that a captain has to do. But boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Well, before we get to anybody, I was reading that this morning because I told you guys everybody that's already made the team was basically giving him permission to pick himself.
Yeah.
And everything I've seen leading up to it said he needs to pick himself because he's playing that well right now, etc. And like I said, an hour before showtime, 7 o'clock this morning, I'm sitting here at this desk getting stuff ready. Bloop, Tom Watson says this will be a big mistake if you don't do this. So I click on it expecting him to be like, got to pick yourself. And it was the opposite. He was like, don't you dare do it. Don't you dare. And he doesn't do it.
Well,
that tells me in his conversations with other captains, because I'm sure, right, if you're captain, you're asking other guys, hey, what'd you do? How'd you handle this?
No doubt about
Stuff
it.
like that. And guys like Tom Watson telling you no, probably gives you a lot of weight.
Well, Tom Watson is a guy who played in the Ryder Cups, and he was a captain also, and so he has the perspective of both. The only reason I really thought, and I told you yesterday how I would have done it, I would have said, you know what, I'm going to hand my captaincy over to whoever.
To be allowed to play in it.
He's got 5 vice captains.
I think, though, if you win this thing, which you have a better chance to win it at Bethpage, Americans suck when they play over in Europe.
Yeah.
You have a better chance to win it this year if you go by history, etc. You're going to go down in lore if you're the captain and win it than you are a player.
But you have a chance over the next 20, 30 years to be picked as a captain.
Yeah, but I don't know if those come often. But that's the thing. You can work out that deal. You can have those conversations.
Yeah. This would be probably the last opportunity to actually play in it. And just for a little background for people who don't know about golf, don't care about golf, don't like golf, whatever. He got what some people would say snubbed for the Ryder Cup 2 years ago.
He flat out got snubbed.
And he was supposed to be a captain's pick. They decided not to pick him, and it's famously shown the phone call and
the guy that was picked over him was a worse-ranked golfer. Actually played terrible.
Yes.
Terrible, which makes it worse, right?
Yes. So, but he did pick his team, and he's not playing.
Give us, so I'm actually floored by that. I thought everybody was giving him permission to do it.
Yeah.
And basically giving the public, it's okay, we understand if you do it, type of a talk, which makes it easier than if people were coming out going, I'm not going to speak on that or whatever. So I'm actually floored by that. Now give us the rest of the team. Personalities galore right here, folks.
All right, so again, a couple of them no-brainers. I think Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa were next on the rankings list.
Yeah, they got to be in there. They interviewed them. They were the first two they interviewed on this. They popped right up for interviews from home on Zoom. It was nice of them all to get together.
And then you got Ben Griffin.
I told you Ben Griffin was probably going to make it. Yeah.
Cameron Young, Sam Burns, both outside the top 12.
Yeah, they are from way down in. Remember, I brought up Sam Burns yesterday that people were saying he's probably going to make it. Don't quote me on this, but I want to say he was like 25th or something.
Right.
In the ranking. Like, he's way down there.
And then Steve's guy, rather watch paint dry.
I told you he was making it.
I'd rather watch somebody cut grass.
I told you he was making it.
I'd rather get a Brazilian wax.
He had to have told everybody on the planet that Cantlay was making this squad because everybody had Cantlay on the list over the last since Saturday. Everybody's had Cantlay as the must make list. And I don't disagree. How is he going to – no, he does play well with a couple of these guys out there, so maybe he can find a pairing. But I don't get it, man. Oh, dear, was making it, though.
Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah.
And –
it feels so disappointed right now.
It just sucks.
His dreams continue, Dale. You should be happy for him.
What I'm trying to do is pull up these, the Ryder Cup standings to see who really got snubbed.
Oh yeah, we had that up the other day.
I know.
Everything, yeah. Well, Sam Burns was way down there because I brought him up as somebody that a couple people had said Sam Burns is going to make, and he was way down. Like he was like in the 20s, I believe he was, something like that.
Oh, so hold on here. So the names he didn't pick.
Yeah.
Harris English.
Yeah, everybody.
I'm sorry. Harris English and Bryce DeChambeau
were automatics. Yeah.
So Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, and Ben Griffin, they were the next three, and they were picked.
And Ben Griffin, I think I'm excited to see what he can do in this.
So the guys he bypassed to go down the list was Maverick McNeely.
Mm-hmm. I thought Maverick was going to make it. I agree with you, but I thought he would probably get in.
Himself, Keegan Bradley was number 11. Mm-hmm. And then number 12 was Brian Harman.
Yeah. Brian Harman was on a lot of people's list.
Yes. And so you go all the way down to Cantlay was number 15.
Yeah.
And Burns was 16.
Yeah. Okay. I thought he was like 20 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, 16. Yeah. So you jumped a lot of guys that I would rather see in there. The United States has lost 10 of the last 14 Ryder Cups to Europe. Is this team breaking through? Because if you don't know, the Ryder Cup team, it's pretty much set. I mean, it's Rory. It's every big name you've ever known that's a European is on this list here. Name value alone, the Europeans should run away with this. Just if you go off of name value.
Well, the thing is, what I've always been told is the Europeans, they grow up playing these formats.
Yeah, they play what is that, match play? They don't play like we do here.
They play best ball. They play alternate shot,
skins,
and our guys, it's all you're on your own.
Yes.
And the Europeans tend to be a closer knit group. They hang out, they drink beer, they travel together, all that. Whereas the U.S. players tend to show up, do practice round, golf, boom, jump on their jet and head out. So
they don't hang out. European players, they play their round and then they hang out.
Yeah. They
European,
go to a pub.
Yeah, European. American players, no, like you said, you get done with your round and you finish an hour before the leaders come in. You're on your jet flying back home or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like even today, they're announcing this stuff, and I kid you not. And I get it, let's get it in there. But like, they're all on Zoom calls. Don't you just, hey, everybody, fly to Bethpage. Y'all can afford it. Fly to Bethpage. Let's get together, and then you guys can walk out or something like that. No, they're all on Zoom calls. Oh, you don't want to leave to go anywhere. Nothing says team like, just Zoom me. We'll do the interview when you Zoom me. I have a problem with it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the one thing they have going for, as you pointed out, was they're playing on USA turf.
And Bethpage, which is a very difficult course. It's not a, what do they call that course over there where it's all just hills and sand and whatever? Gotcha. It's not a, what's that called? They're not a European course.
Right. Gosh. God, what is it called?
Come on, Dale, get on top of this. So that's the breaking news happening right now. There's your United States 2025 Ryder Cup team.
That's coming up September 21st or something?
I thought it was 17th or something. But yeah, it's in that time frame. Don't quote me on that. I closed out the page. I'm so disgusted by who we picked.
You're going to come in here with a Patrick Cantlay shirt.
Just to rile you up, I'm going to. No doubt about that. Vice captains are Jim Furyk, Kevin Kisner, Webb Simpson, Brandt Snedeker, Gary Woodland as well. So just so you know.
I just, if I'm Keegan, I'm just giving it to Jim Furyk or whoever and say, I'm playing.
He doesn't make the choices himself, right? I mean, he talks to people, his vice captains, and right, because it's not just that you qualify, or you're next in line. It's can you play with somebody? An alternate ball shot, obviously, you have to like your partner in case they put you in a spot you're not used to being in or you're not good at it and stuff like that. You got to have guys that play well together and stuff like that. So that's why guys get skipped around, but it's going to be fascinating to watch.
Well, and also do your games match, even down to, believe it or not, folks, what type of ball do you play? Because if you in an alternate shot format, Steve hits the ball off the tee. I go and hit the ball wherever he hit it to. Yeah. And you're playing that same ball. Well, if Steve plays a certain kind of ball that I don't like,
softer, it hits it wrong,
or whatever, it can cause problems.
But even as something as simple as like a Bryson DeChambeau likes to bomb the balls far, right?
Right.
And if your game isn't to bomb them that far, you're not used to hitting, your second shot from, I'm just going to say 80 yards in.
Yeah.
You're used to hitting from 120 yards out. Like that's a different game. They should be good enough to do it, but believe it or not, it does mess.
Well, think about this. Say if you put a Bryson DeChambeau with a Brian Harman. Brian Harman hits the ball about 270 off the tee. Bryson DeChambeau hits it about 330. So there's a 60-yard difference on average drive-wise. So Bryson would have to now be hitting Brian Harman's drives.
Yes.
And vice versa. And then personalities. Do you get along? Do you like each other?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine somebody hits a ball and you're like, what kind of crap play was that? And they're grumbling, they're walking down the middle.
I love it so much when these member guests at different country clubs, if you make what they call the horse race, it turns into alternate shot.
Yeah.
And you get been a team all weekend. You're best friends because you're paying for this guy to be
Yes.
at your member guest.
You like them.
And then hits a bad shot in the horse race, and all of a sudden you see people barking at each other.
I told you I did that, and I used to play in a tournament in Palm Springs that was like that. And I played with, it was my boss at the time, and he missed like a 1-inch putt. Like I hit this ball right up there, 1 inch, and he missed it. And I had to keep my mouth shut because he was the boss. And I was like, it happens. And I just went and sat in the cart, and he was like throwing his club. He was pissed off. And I still hold it against him to this day, man. I was like, you jerk. How'd you do that? So the Europeans, their optional picks, their captain's picks will be September 1st.
Okay.
Coming up here as well. But, I mean, Rory's made it. Robert McIntyre's made it. Tommy Fleetwood. Justin Rose. Højgaard. Rasmus there is definitely and then there. Terrell Hatton as the 6 qualified guys from that perspective on the European. So it'll be fun to see what they do there. So when we come back, we'll go back to NFL talk here as well because, Robert brings up a name that I'm intrigued by, to be honest with you. Robert says Lynx course. Thank you, Robert. The Lynx course. You know, the hills, laps around. Joe DiMaggio, Marilyn Monroe, whatever. Come on back, folks. Main event. Of course, we've got a bird's eye view coming up with Scottsdale Christian Academy head coach Mike Sheehan coming up at the top of the hour as well. Coming off their victory over Pima last weekend and going pretty much to LA this week, folks. Tonopah Valley, 379th Avenue and Indian School or something ridiculous like that coming up this weekend. Friday night for them. You going, Dale?
I think I'm going to pass on that one. Stevie, you going to go?
No, I'll be at Desert Ridge. I'm going to the Desert Ridge game. Their opening game at home with their new head coach coming over from, why did I do this to myself? Castile, defensive coordinator Castile, coming over to Desert Ridge for his first game there. I'm going to go check that out. Okay. I don't remember who they play, but I'm going to go check that out. And, my favorite bonus kid is on the Palm Squad, so I'm going to go support that.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing this weekend, on Friday night at least. But Robert brings up, Hunter Renfrow. Because I said if I'm the Cardinals, I'm looking for a guy to come in here, little expectations of him as a wide receiver, but bring somebody that should be a 2 somewhere, or maybe a 3 somewhere, and bring him in here. No pressure on him. Try him out, right? Something, whatever. Hunter Renfrow is what Robert said is somebody he would look at. I don't disagree with that. No, he's making his comeback, and he was cut. But he's making a comeback, so somebody I'd look at maybe, but not sure. But, I mean, you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who I'm not a big fan of, but no pressure coming in here. Can he hold on to the ball? But no pressure if you talk to him. But the guy that I'm just shocked by, and I want to know what's wrong with him, Packers wide receiver Mecole Hardman was cut yesterday as well.
He's former chief, too, right?
I believe, was Hardman a chief?
I think so.
I know MVS was as well, but... Yeah, just what's wrong with bringing a guy in, trying him out, sending him on their way if it doesn't work out?
Well, then he has to clear waivers.
Yeah,
and then you can bring him in, and that you said. That's
I have no idea what their contract situation is. I'm just going off of looking at who was cut.
Well, and
names to look at.
Once you clear waivers, whatever contract situation you have, it's null and void.
Yeah, if it's waivers, you have to pick up their contracts, right?
Yeah. If you put a claim in for a guy, you have to pay him his contract.
Yeah, so I mean, just names that just caught me if they clear. It's at least got to have a conversation with them, right? Robert Woods from the Steelers was another intriguing name. He's Robert Woods is a wide receiver 3 at best today. Well, guess what you need? You need depth in your wide receiver room and some veteran presence in there. I think he'd be a guy to at least talk with as well. I mean, 12 years in the league. Bring some veteran leadership to the wide receiver core as well. So Marquez Valdes-Scantling scares me, though, because he drops a lot of footballs and big moments and non-big moments on top of it. But, somebody to look at. But those are guys that caught my eyes, at least in terms of wide receivers for the Cardinals to take a look at as well. So, I mean, the other person I'd look at is Taylor Swift. Bring her in. She obviously. Okay, you make fun of me all the time. I'm just gonna bring this up here. You make fun of me all the time for not caring about guys getting cut and all of that stuff.
Yes.
Nothing says I could care less about you losing your job, fellow teammates, like announcing your high-profile engagement on Instagram on cut day.
Maybe
Yell at Travis Kelce for overshadowing his fellow football players getting cut and their dreams being smashed. And he's over there announcing his engagement full of flowers and, storybook wedding coming.
Well, maybe he's just trying to take the sting away from his teammates so they can be happy for
Yo,
him.
so now his teammates are like, I got cut. I had no dreams.
But I'm so
but
happy for them.
Travis is so happy. He looks so happy in that picture. Aw.
Aren't you happy for them, Steve?
Not careless. Back to sports. It's
I'm
good.
always happy when people are happy.
It's going to, it's fake happiness.
Oh, you're so stupid.
It's fake happiness.
I already got my tentative invite. The wedding's going to be in Tuscany.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. And I had RSVPs.
You read that? You read that?
So I might need some time off next off season.
You mean he's not going to just do it in November? When Taylor wants it done?
Bye week.
Yeah, it's like bye week. The whole team flies to Tuscany for the wedding and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I find that kind of rude. And the only reason I even thought about that is because how much crap you give me for not caring about people losing their dreams getting crushed. And I'm like, he literally was like, how many guys that I've been practicing with for the last 2 months are going to lose their jobs today? I don't care. At least I'm happy. Go me. Go me. What a teammate. They should be proud.
Hey, congratulations, Taylor, Tay, and Kelsey, and I hope for many years of wedded bliss. Somebody said, I bet you that's going to be a long prenup. And I said, I don't think it is. I think it's, hey, I keep mine, you keep yours, if anything happens.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Cannon, it's a fun thing to follow, the Nick Cannon, but he married Mariah Carey. And, I mean, it was, nope, what's yours is yours, and what's mine is mine, because she was worth like $1 kajillion more than him. And I read yesterday, Taylor Swift is worth about 8 times what Travis Kelce's worth.
Well, I would say more than that.
Oh, that's what I read yesterday. But I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But that's just what I read.
She's a billionaire.
Oh, she's beyond a billionaire. Music rights alone. Every time you play that song, she gets a little cut of it.
And I don't think that I don't think he's made $100 million yet in his career.
You don't think so?
No.
Well,
maybe with some of the commercials.
I don't know. I've been to Kansas City, not in the last year or so, but I've been to Kansas City. He's plastered everywhere with advertisements, local and
so he's probably got some of that coming in. But no, I think that's
podcast. Aren't they making like $40 million a year just in that podcast?
Ooh, I don't know about that much.
It was huge money.
I don't know about that much. Come on now, Stevie.
Now you bring Taylor Swift on there, it's going to be that much.
Well, yeah, they maybe now. Do we have 1.5 million viewers?
Well, no, because we don't have Taylor Swift coming. They didn't either until Taylor Swift showed up. Football people weren't watching that podcast. It was all the Swifties and everybody.
Well, I was a football guy. I watched it.
You watched the whole thing?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I went to YouTube and watched
3-year, $100 million deal for their podcast. That's $33 million a year.
Yeah, so they're making $15 million. And they got to pay everybody.
You know what? Just a little bit below us here.
Congratulations!
I need it. Odell, one of us needs to go find a superstar music we should get an aging person like Madonna or somebody.
To come on?
No, for you to date. So then you can come on. Then we get all the views.
I'm happily married. I believe there's somebody on this set that's not married.
Autumn, I need you to start becoming a singer. We need you to become a famous singer for this to work.
You should have Autumn on here.
She won't come on the microphone. I've tried over the years. Yeah. Not everybody's microphone hogs, Dale, like me.
I wonder where you're going to go with
that. Tom Brady rules are changing as well. So we'll have to see. Waiver wire ends today. See who gets picked up by the Titans. I have read they were picking up a lot as well.
Well, real quick.
Yep.
Because it's funny because, again, another flashback. It's like when the Cowboys coming off the 1-15 year, I get traded there. And, I mean, for the first 6 weeks of the season, they probably had 6 or 7 waiver claims.
Just rotating people.
And then
through,
every
right?
Tuesday you'd show up to get your workout in, and there'd be 5 new. You could max the guys you can bring in to work them out as 5 guys.
Yeah, so it's guys sitting on the couch that you're like, well, we might need to find some improvements. Let's bring them in, work them out.
So they'll bring in 5 guys every Tuesday, and you're looking out the windows of the weight room and go, God, there's 3 big dudes out there.
Is somebody long snapping out there? You're pulling the blinds down and peeking through. Is somebody long snapping? It's a deal. It still happens today and everything, but it'll be fascinating to see. But if I was the Cardinals, man, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them maybe bring in a veteran wide receiver. How about a veteran cornerback of some sort?
Well, that's the thing. The cornerback room is the one I'm most worried about this year. No, not because of talent-wise, because who's going to be starting and playing nickel for this team is going to do all right. Like, I'm confident Will Johnson, he's going to have struggles, don't get me wrong, but I have confidence in the cornerbacks. They're not going to be just bad, terrible, right? But we all know injuries are going to creep in and stuff like that. So I think that room's going to be the room where you're going to see a lot of rotation coming up this year. And it's something to pay attention. So I don't disagree with you. There's a lot of cornerbacks, a lot of named like guys you recognize their names were cut yesterday.
Well, a lot of defensive backs and a lot of wide receivers.
Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. Like at one point, as I'm going through the list, I'm just like, is there anybody but wide receivers and cornerbacks on this list? A couple of safeties from that side. So it is something to watch. And look, the one disappointment I've had with the Cardinals the last couple of years is when they could bring guys in, sitting on so much, salary cap money and then just refusing to make moves. It's been disappointing. And I think this is the year you're going for a playoff spot. It will be disappointing if the Cardinals are not in the playoff conversation. And what I mean by that is last game of the year, at a minimum, win and you're in. Or win and a couple other things might have to happen, but you win and you're in the game, you win that game, and then if you get out, you get out. You've got to be at least at that level this year, which means what? You need to have constant improvements, and you need to play with that salary cap and bring guys in as needed, etc. And if they don't do that, it's going to be disappointing. That's how I'm looking at it.
Right.
So we'll see. Money, no pressure, buddy. No pressure, buddy. No pressure at all. No pressure.
Can the Valley have good things? Or
then there's ASU, and we'll talk about that.
Or is ASU going to lose to NAU, and the Cardinals are going to lose their season over, and here we go again.
Robert says, in Kelsey's defense, I don't think it was his choice, and I don't think he had any idea who the guys were that got cut. Yeah, that's my point. I'll put it this way. Announcing your engagement, doing that photo shoot in the middle of training camp, and I get it. He's a guy. He's going to go in there. He's going to have chemistry with Mahomes. He knows the playbook, etc. But isn't this just bringing in just a distraction to the team? Isn't it? Isn't it, Dale?
It's more of a distraction that they're not engaged.
Chiefs under this year.
Because of the
Kelsey's dramatics.
Day-to-day effect.
Chiefs under. I find it rude, Dale, is what I'm getting at.
Oh, I'm just happy for the young kids.
By the way, and I agree with Robert. Kelsey has no say in this relationship whatsoever. You want to keep Tay-Tay wants to get married? Tay-Tay getting married.
Oh, see, I disagree with
Oh, no.
Oh.
Tay-Tay could have called me up. I don't particularly find her that attractive.
Yeah.
She's got something with her. But I do like her music or whatever. And it'd be just the constant light bulbs would be too much for me. It just would be. But if she called me up right now and said, let's go get married, I'd be like, yes, ma'am, let's go.
By the way, that prenup,
For that money?
Steve, you keep yours, I'll keep
No.
mine.
See, that's the thing, though. For somebody like me, I bet you I'd be able to get, like, if we broke up, I'd get at least $1 million in a breakup fee. Guarantee you. That'd be a payoff for me to go away.
Autumn, I tried to save him.
No.
Himself.
So here's the thing: you don't let me finish, Dale. No. I would have a conversation with Autumn, and I'd be like, "Hey, look, I got some money coming your way as well. I'll get this thing over with in 6 months to a year, and then you got a ton of money for you too. I'll work out you in a deal also.
Good luck to you tonight.
Whatever Tay wants. I'm busy tonight. So
Good luck.
I'm not around.
Good luck. Autumn, I'm sorry.
Really quick, we wrap up because Mike Sheehan's coming up here. Tom Brady, they're changing the rules for him again. So now, minority of the Raiders. So he is going to be allowed to take part in production meetings with coaches and teams this season. So they're going to let him in the room now this year for his Fox broadcast.
Okay.
Keep changing those rules for Tom Brady.
When you're the greatest of all time, Steve.
Second greatest.
Who's first greatest?
Last time I checked, somebody didn't lose any Super Bowl wins. He won all 4. He was in the Super Bowl. In an era where they played hard and hit quarterbacks. Just saying.
You're telling me Bradshaw?
No, not Bradshaw. No. Niners. I can't even think of his
Joe
name.
Montana?
Right now. Joe Montana. Yeah, I was just throwing it out there.
All right, go to break.
In an era when quarterbacks got hit, Coach Sheehan's coming up.
You got so much to explain. Wow.
You went Bradshaw?
Wow.
No, Bradshaw. Not even close. Come on back, folks. The main event. And we're back here. Main event.
Boy, oh boy, you try and get Sheehan on and the whole system goes down.
Seriously.
He wins one game and just shuts the whole dang thing down.
Just took us down. We didn't know what to do. We had to do resets, everything. It was a mess. Here, look at the sound. I'm testing it out now to make sure. Dale, talk real quick. Let's make sure. We got it. We're good. So now hopefully we got Mike. But the comedy bit that you guys missed earlier, Dale, we'll just recreate it here and say, Robert chimed in and said, somebody take the shovel away from Steven. It's getting deeper and deeper and deeper over here. So, yes.
I think maybe that was right after you said you talked to Honor about marrying Tay-Tay. Only be 6 to 12-month wedding.
Yeah. And then I'll get some money out of it. It'll be worth it, Dale. It'll be worth it. So, yeah, Robert, I might need a place to stay later. If you have a room, I'd appreciate it. If I can crash for a couple nights from that side. But let's not delay it all. Let's get to a bird's eye view with Mike Sheehan. There he is, Mike Sheehan. Let's test this out now because you tanked him, man, when you logged in earlier. We're blaming you for this.
Oh.
No?
Yeah, he's
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I knew you were.
He knew he's messing with you.
I knew he was. Yeah.
Hey, there's chairs thrown around here. Microphones are broken.
So behind the scenes, man. So they're they're like over there sweating, working on it, and I'm trying to like stay calm. I go to stand up, my chair breaks. All the legs fall off of it. I'm trying to put them back on. My earpiece is all clogged, and I'm just like, what's happening right now?
All of a sudden, Sheehan wins one game, and all hell breaks loose.
I know.
No, I didn't even do anything.
Like, what is happening over here right now? Of course, the pride of Kingman, Scottsdale Christian Academy's head coach, Mike Sheehan. 1-0, baby. What's up?
How are you guys doing?
Good.
We are doing good. Let's go back and look at last week. Obviously, you can't play a season opener without some sort of interruption, whether it's a day or a night or hours. I guess talk about how you, as a head coach, you're getting used to it now, handle a delay like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird that you say we're getting used to it because honestly, it's third year in a row,
Yeah.
and I think it's harder on other teams now. I think we're literally just used to it, and it's like I told the guys like when we had the little break, I'm like, we've been through so much adversity. This is nothing. It's literally I feel like we've been hit with everything. Nothing really bothers the boys anymore. They just want to play football. So the break was exhausting. Like the boys were kind of still in their pads and stuff, but Coach Wilkins from Pima, who's a great guy, was just like, hey, we want to finish this tonight. So we're like, let's do it. They didn't have school the next day.
Oh.
So at Pima, they only go 4 days a week. So it's easier to get done that night.
Okay.
So that's why.
And you don't want to drive 2.5 hours back there and have to come back Friday or Saturday or whatever.
No, that would be miserable. I couldn't imagine doing that. That's a long ways and exhausting. And honestly, it puts them at such a disadvantage, and I wouldn't want to do it either.
So you have your thoughts of your team. You did the scrimmage, and I'm sure you had evaluations, things like that. And then the first real bullets start to fly. Give us the overall impression. Maybe a couple names that maybe surprised you with their performances.
I wouldn't say surprise me, but Dom Dickerson, which is number one. He's a wide receiver. I think Dale. I don't remember. Do you know Dom? Do you know Dr. Dickerson? His dad, teacher at school, but you might not. He's a basketball kid. Now he's a football kid. Let's call him a football kid. What he is now, but he his speed is unmatched, especially at our level. He's a fast kid. Number one, kind of took the top of the defense off a little bit. He's an aggressive kid. I thought Sean played better than I thought he would play for a game 1, too. The first series, he rolled out left, set his feet, and threw a freaking bullet to Kyle Olafson, who's another kid that came out. He's 6'4", stretched out for the ball. It honestly was like, it didn't seem, I was at SCA 10 years ago. It's like stuff we couldn't have done back then. Right. We're able to do now. So I think I'm happy with where we're at, but I think we're far from where we want to be.
On that first drive, Sean, you ran the ball first, then Sean had to roll out, nobody was open, and he scrambled. Couple big blocks on that play as well, right, from your guys, which kind of set the tone early. But the thing that caught me on Olafson on that long pass was like you said, he reached out for it. A safety was right there and about to stick his helmet, and it didn't faze him at all. He still went out and got that football, for that big catch there to start the game. So I think, from my perspective, before the Lightning, the tone was set by your team on that first drive with those big hits, blocking hits, and then the way that balls were caught, etc. Against Pima. I was watching both sidelines, and it just felt like in that moment, like, all right, you guys are here to play.
Mm-hmm. I felt it. I did feel like this is the most prepared team in regards to them, like just being hyped for this game, not necessarily prepared, like because you never know where you're at. But I've never seen a group of kids be so excited to play a football game. It was crazy. It wasn't like, you got this era of young men that are like trying to be too cool all the time and trying to like look cool and do all these things. There was not much of that. There's some humbleness and there's some arrogance on this team, which you need a little bit of both, right? But the excitement as a whole was huge for this group. And I feel like they were just ready to play some football. Did that answer your question, or did I just go left field again?
Oh, well, yeah. So I was down on the field there because I was like IT for some reason. I don't know why. It was pretty funny. People just start handing me iPads and stuff, and they're like, hey, fix this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. It was pretty funny. Yeah. So I'm down there, and I was planning on going up. But I overheard a couple people, on the sideline there, make the comments of, did you see that hit? Like parent-wise, stuff like that. So even the parents are expecting a different level step up here from you guys going into this. I heard one player right before the Lightning came, which I'll be honest with you, it struck me as like, like this might be a deal. I'm not going to call him out here, but he goes, they don't want to play with us, and he starts yelling it. Yeah. And I'm like, man, we're 5 minutes into this game. Like that's. But that's kind of where it's not an arrogance, but it's, the mentality of going out there and playing at this level and being ready for a type of a situation like you just talked about.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I didn't answer that question. That's what I missed on that last one. I think our physicality was there on that second play of the game. Caleb Murphy and Everett Salazar absolutely tattooed kids, and they were laying on their back, and they were clean hits. They were clean hits, but we talk about like we're gonna be one of those old school type teams, and Dale kind of knows from back in the day, if you're standing around a pile, we're gonna hit you. Now we are gonna be that team that you honestly like. If we don't beat you, you'll definitely feel us, right? It's one of those things. So I think we're wanting to try to bring a little bit of more physicality to this small little, Christian school in the middle of Scottsdale, which doesn't get much tab for toughness. We're trying to create a little bit different mentality for sure.
So you're not much on superstition. We talked last week on Wednesday that SA's lost to Pima the last 2 regular seasons, and then one in the state championship, and you just said the heck with that stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, that sounds like so. It's weird because Coach Clark, who's our defensive coordinator, is like, man, maybe we should lose this game. It's like when we lose this game, it's one of those things. I'm actually not for superstition, and I'm really for superstition. So it's like, you know what though? But we've also won the state championship the last 2 years where there was a lightning delay, right? So it's like there's all these different things I do have to have. I'm only going to pick and choose the stuff I want. So I guess I'm only superstitious if it works in my favor. So we got to do the same sandwiches every day, do the same kind of stuff. But if we beat Pima during the regular season, like I'm not counting that as a superstition. That's just I'm gonna create my own superstition, just the ones I want. That's it.
Tell me this, because I heard a little bit about it, obviously from Steve and read about it. Did Pima lose their starting quarterback recently?
They did. They did.
And do you
Grimes?
How much do you think that affected them?
I definitely think it affected their offense. I do. With all due respect, I think we're playing at a different level right now. So I feel like with him, I think the game's a little bit different. I do wholeheartedly feel like he's a good quarterback. He can evade. He's good in the pocket. He's good at getting the ball downfield. He's one of those things. I think they might have had a couple different pass opportunities than they had this week. I think the young man that stepped in was pretty good. But I think as long as we play at a different level, we only worry about ourselves, right? So who we play is who we play. But I think our offense, right? I think our offense scored the first 4 times they had the ball, right? So it's kind of no matter what you do against that. I think we have a pretty formidable defense, and it's getting better. Having that kid out was detrimental to them for sure. But you play who you play, right? And it's a team game, so that's kind of how I feel about it. It's one of those things. And it's hard. It's hard to have an opinion on that.
And you guys came out fairly healthy, I take it?
We did. We got a little dinged up, right? So we got dinged up on stupid stuff, almost sometimes hitting ourselves harder than we were hitting them. So, and then on kickoff and stuff like that. But for the most part, pretty healthy through there. A little bumps and bruises because they're tough. They cut a lot. Defensive line, was taking some hits, getting some low blocks. So they got to get used to that a little bit. But overall, pretty dang good.
Did somebody hurt their ankle walking out to the field?
Yes. So.
See, I wasn't gonna call him out. I just wanted to see your reaction.
It's okay. It wasn't necessarily walking out to the field. It wasn't. It's like when we were going out. I think it was when we were going out in the run out tunnel, right? Like so, everybody's out there hyping up. They're jumping around, and then as soon as they break through the banner thing, then they like jump and get excited. And he kind of did that thing where if you shoot a basketball and the guy's playing defense, he's underneath you, and you hit somebody else's ankle and you roll yours. Yeah. He jumped, landed on another kid's ankle, rolled his, and unfortunately, like he played a little bit at the beginning, but as soon as we had that break, it started to swell and the adrenaline, like he couldn't keep playing through it. So he was out for the second part of the game. And I really want to see him play. And I'll just say who it was. Like he was our backup running back, Nathaniel Elrod, like a sophomore kid. He's a great kid. Listen, and he'll smile if he sees it, right? So we gave him some grief about it, but the only thing I'm really bummed about is I really want to see him carry the ball because I think he's going to be a good number 2 behind Everett, and I want to give him some varsity reps, and he didn't get those. So we'll have to see how he feels by Friday.
So that is one kid I wanted to ask you about. Obviously, high hopes. Super excited for his senior season. You talk about Everett Salazar. Missed a lot of last year and all that. How was his debut? Did he come out healthy, and was he as good as
Dude,
we hoped he would be?
His debut was like, I think he had like 11 carries, 60 yards, I think 5.5 or carry or something, and 3 touchdowns.
56
right?
rushing.
So
56 rushing yards.
Yeah. Yeah, so he just literally on the goal line there, he was not being stopped. I don't think, like, if he got a chance within the 1 or within, it was like 2 to 3 yards. There's a kid that he didn't have a big fondness for that was playing linebacker, and he met that kid in the end zone both times. One time popped his helmet off, another time just ran him straight over and bent him backwards. So I think Everett is a very physical kid. I don't think he's playing with any fear, and I think that should put a little bit of fear in some other teams, because that kid's nasty.
Well, he's got speed. That's what I noticed was he looks like he's jogging and he's pulling away from people, and then he's got that multiple gears. So there was one running play, or it might have been he got the interception that was called back, I think, right? But he was like running, and then he just stops and everybody runs by him, and then he starts running again. Mm-hmm. He's got the gears as well. That's what was most impressive about it. Watching him just run out, it was effortless. Just all right, I'm gonna go do it. But then when it came time to hit somebody, it was all right, let's go. It wasn't shying away.
That's the part he loves. I got to tell him not to find contact. I'm like, dude, we need you for the full season. Like, can you just run through a gigantic hole and get to the end zone instead of trying to find contact? Which is great. It's cool. It's all those good things. But let's take a couple less hits, because he's starting to will linebacker for us too.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into this week, I've got to address the elephant in the room. Are you not going to shave whatever that is on your top lip until you lose a game?
It's not even that.
Come on, nobody's told you that looks good.
Holly did, my wife, and that's the only one that matters.
I said,
I don't even know if she said it looks good. She just said it looks like a coach. So maybe I'm taking that as it looks good. But I get so much grief over it. Yeah. I actually enjoy it. It's a what is it? It's a talking piece, right? It's a good talking piece. It's an icebreaker.
Before kickoff, I looked at your dad, because we were standing next to each other. I looked at your dad and I said, if he loses this game, that thing's got to come off. And your dad goes, well, mine's not. Mine's 47. I go, no, yours stays. The new one has to go away if something bad happens.
My dad's had it forever. He shaved it like twice, and he looks like Papa Smurf without it. So he's not the most attractive man without it. I love you, Dad. I know you're probably listening, but he looks like Papa Smurf without it. So he's like one of the best listeners. I think he's an all day, everyday guy.
Yeah, so that's what we found out last week. It was funny talking to him, and your mom is kind of funny, because we'll call him out. We'll give him a shout out. But Autumn comes up to me, and Autumn goes, I think they listen all the time. Because your mom kept bringing stuff up, because which is great. Don't get me wrong, but it was just kind of funny where she was bringing stuff up that I was like, wait, what? And then my senior taco story seems
like the most random stuff, right? Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wait, what do you mean? Does that have to be explained to me? But my senior taco story apparently lives up there. Jeez.
Oh, that
lady called me out.
I think we had a senior taco in Kingman. That's why. That's probably like it rang a little bell for him, right?
There's a guy I do want to bring up here as well that we haven't brought up yet, and of course, and of course I just forgot his name. Martin Perez, there, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Leader of this team, didn't play in the scrimmage at all, but was out there last week. I had him down for 11 tackles. It was hard to chart this game with the weather going on and the sprinkles. Mm-hmm. Couldn't break out my paper to do so. But I had him down for 11, but Max Preps has him at 12. Talk a little bit about him, senior, going into this season.
Yeah, senior Martin Perez, man. He's such a – I'll tell you what, he's probably the best thing about him is his communication, right? Especially being a middle linebacker. His communication is huge, and he kind of echoes everything, gets the calls in, gets it going, and he's got a motor on him. He was out for the scrimmage. He was a little banged up. We kind of held him back. He probably maybe could have played in it, but we wanted to get him healthy into game one. He's healthy into game one. He kind of got through that pretty well, but he's got a motor on him. I think he's got a little bit of mouth on him too. But you know what I mean? It's one of those things that he loves to play football. He's a great leader, and the boys look up to him a little bit. Having him and Everett in the middle is a great linebacking core. I don't care what level you're at. They're good kids. They care, and they're great leaders.
All right, well, let's look at that. Leave that in the rearview mirror. You go from Pima to Tonopah Valley this week. Obviously, both of them in the Final Four last year. I don't know much about Tonopah. I know they've got a dude that's a D1 kid. Just talk a little overall view of Tonopah right now.
I think they've got a lot of athletes over there, right? So I think they're one of the biggest enrollment schools in 2A. And there's a lot of athletes. They've got some dudes out there, and it's one of those places where like you're just going to Tonopah. If you're at that, I think it's Palo Verde power plant out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like they got those people that kind of live out there. There's another corrections facility that I think people live in Tonopah. So it's a good area with a lot of athletes. They got some big kids. You know, they've got that Weber kid who number 0. I can't even remember his stats. He's like 6'4", 230, good athlete. Yeah, he's committed to Boise State. Plays defensive end and wide receiver for him. It's hard to match up against. They got another number 2. I kind of usually go by numbers, but I can't remember his name offhand. But he's another big kid. Their running back's a stud. They got big running back.
Caden Sabatina. He's a junior down there.
Number 2, yeah. And then they've also their defensive line. They kind of got or their defense in general. Coach Kemmer does a great job over there. They run a little bear front, so they've got a little 85 Bears, a little ode to the 85 Bears. They're going to bring pressure, get after a little bit. I think number 23 is it Sir Isaac? It's I can't remember. It's Sir something. He's nasty defensive lineman. They're going to be pretty good. You know, I think they had a rough start last week against Odyssey. I think when you have a totally new staff come in, or for the most part a decently new staff, it takes a little bit more time to get in the fold. And I think for this week they bring in a little bit more than they did last week. I do think that we lost to them last year, right? We were up 17-0 going into the fourth quarter. We gave up a lot of points in the fourth quarter. I think Coach Clark took that a little personally. And I think we got our goal is to make up for a loss last year. And I think there was a decent amount of talk after the game from that side. And I think we want to kind of right some wrongs.
Ignore that name I said there. Actually, at Tonopah Valley didn't update Max Preps at all.
Okay.
So I gave you the Odyssey player's name. So shout out to Odyssey for having a good game.
Yeah,
25-0 victory there over Tonopah
So
Valley.
hold on, you go 85 Bears and you turn into Buddy Ryan. I mean, you're just a number guy now. 23-0.
I know. So I just like they got there's you get so many kids and you forget their names and all that stuff. But man, some of these kids are athletes. But yeah, I think the defense is going to be pretty formidable to go against this week for sure.
And it's an hour drive to get out there. You know, it's not a short trek at all. It's 379th Avenue and Indian School, roughly. The facilities look amazing. I was looking at the overhead of it last night.
Yeah, they got a new field. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Baseball fields look amazing. So, so it's a long drive out there. First road game. I always worry about first road games, especially the younger you get, because, right, you get on the bus, a little bit more excitement getting out there. You finally get there, you get out, things are different locker room, etc. On that stuff. So what's your mindset going into this week with the travel?
I mean, you're right. It's like, and we don't travel a lot, right? Kind of being in the Valley, like you don't get a lot of big travel games out. We only had like Pima last year, and we don't go to Tucson much or anything like that. So travel's not something we're necessarily used to. So hours not too bad. I feel like that's kind of like going to a 7-on-7 type tournament sometimes, but just kind of keeping the guys, worried about ourselves, staying humble, make sure that we don't overlook anybody, make sure that we're doing what we do, and kind of just go do the same thing as we do at home. We got to go through the same time, same everything, same warm up, same everything, same, minute by minute. And I think that kind of brings some normalcy to it no matter where you're at. So just kind of keep them in check a little bit and make sure that we bring a big crowd too, which does help on the road.
How's practice been this week? You had a big win on Thursday. You have a couple extra days to heal up and all that. Has practice been like you like it, focused and fast and all that?
No, absolutely not. No, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. So I thought it's been like it's weird, right? So you play that Thursday game. Yeah. I gave them Friday. We just came for like a lift and film. Saturday we did another like heavy lift and film because we're trying to like stay strong during season. Monday we come out and it's like literally all we could do is lift and film because the haboob comes in, right? So it was nasty out there. I was tasting dirt for like 2.5 hours and we were only out there 10 minutes of it. But yesterday kind of came out, hoped that we could kind of buckle in and get ready to play football. And I think you know, it was ups and downs. Is a little bit. The practice wasn't where we wanted it to be yesterday. And it's maybe my fault for kind of giving some time off and not getting right back to work on Saturday and Saturday and yeah, Friday and Saturday. But I was trying to rest our bodies because we've been grinding them. So today we got to get back to work, but yesterday wasn't where we wanted to be. You know, it's thanks for bringing that up, Dale. I was past yesterday, and now you had to make me think of yesterday. I think we had a good long talk, and sometimes that's in ear, one ear out the other. But for this team, I feel like they do listen pretty well. Did a couple call outs again, and switched the practice schedule up a little bit, try to compete a little bit all practice, and hopefully that changes for us today.
I got a question for you because it used to bother the heck out of us when we were in Dallas, and they wouldn't give us more than 2 days off. They say, oh, you'll forget how to run power and counter and pass protection and all that if you're not here. Yeah, with 2 days. But the younger you are, sometimes that time off, it can affect the kids, and then obviously the weather has had something to do with it.
Yeah, I think it does, right? So it's like humans are creatures of habit. Once you get out of your habit, especially when you're younger, like it creates bad habits, and you start to get lazy, and they're used to be on their phones more, not doing as much, or being in front of the TV. And I think when you're not locked in, you're not locked in, especially as a younger kid. So I do feel like, you know, as an adult, I'm pretty sure I'm at a fault if I get too much time. I feel like in real estate or my business, if I'm slow, then I kind of stay slow, and it's hard to get going again, right? Like, so it's hard to do those things. So I think as a young man, I think it's even much harder. And the more off time you get, the easier it is to be off, right? You start to enjoy that because it is a grind.
Right.
And in pros, you're getting paid a lot of money, and you better go grind. In high school, we require it, and you're getting nothing but, you know, like yelled at, right? So it's a little bit different. So I feel like it's harder to get them going, but I think they'll get going today.
Now last year I know rain came in for one practice, and there happened to be one or two guys who seemed very happy about that. And you took exception to that. Did you see any rain dances on Monday, or dust storm dances?
No, I didn't see, but I'll tell you what. There was a bonehead thing that was done during school, and when that happens, we run as a team, right? If one person makes a mistake, we're a team, so we run as a team, and everybody knew that we'd be running at the end of yesterday. So every 5 minutes, the kids were like telling me, like, Coach, you see that lightning over there? You see that lightning over there? Because they know if we're not on the field, we can't run as far, right? So it's like, I do feel like they were trying to get a little bit of lightning dances last night, but it didn't come through, and we had to pay some prices last night for some bonehead stuff.
Okay.
So looking back at last week, you know, especially with your defensive side of the ball, there was a coach there that was kind of grinding your guys. They weren't getting low enough, stuff like that. Does that become a focus in practice during the week, or is that just a game time thing? And then, that does carry over, right?
Yeah, so I kind of write some notes on my phone, and we kind of do a little breakdown, and coaches. I think we do a pretty good job of decentralized command, so those guys are kind of in charge of their stuff. But it is one of those things I feel like we did play pretty high in many situations, offensive, defensive lines, and obviously when we're tackling too. So I feel like that was an emphasis yesterday. Which is, it's always hard. It's always hard to get these kids. I know, guaranteed, Dale, even when you're in the pros, you're probably trying to tell you stay low at all times, right? Drop the hips, do all that stuff. It's so hard because you're tired. You got pads on, and it's easier to stand up and be lazy than it is to get low and work hard, right? And that is an emphasis. We kind of worked on it a little bit yesterday. Unfortunately, our shoots got tore up from the storm, and it lost a leg, so we had a 3-legged shoot, so we couldn't use that, which was the plan, and that got messed up.
Or was that a kid that maybe went out there?
Yeah, it might have been a kid who went over there and bent that thing over, because nobody likes the shoots because they're never low enough, and they always hit their head on the pole.
Right.
So it's like, so it's that was an emphasis yesterday, but we didn't have the shoots to be able to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, at game time adjustments and stuff like that, which brings me my next one. You know, they had that 2.5 hour, 3 hour lightning break, you know, and then you went out and played. And I could just speak for myself, man. It was just like, man, this is late. You know, your energy's out. You know, been a long day already. Then you had that downtime, and you know, is there a concern, or is it just kind of just wash it off here with the way the guys play? Now, I'm not saying they played badly, but there definitely was an energy level drop as that game went on. on both sides, to be honest with you, and in the fan base.
Yeah.
Because of that long break in the middle. So is that kind of a concern going into this week for the second half? How do we keep their energy level up going? Or is it kind of a byproduct of the 2-hour layover and stuff like that?
It's a yes and no thing. I'm glad it happened because then we can bring it up and be like, hey, you felt that? They started to have long sustained drives once we once we got a little bit tired. But I'm going to give them some grace, right? Because they're in their pads for like 6 hours, right? So they kept their pads on. They're out of their feet, out of their shoes at least, because we didn't know when we were going to start again. And then you get hype, and then you got to go inside. And then we got hype because someone told them there was time to go out, and then they had to go back inside. Yeah. And then they got hype again. So it's like the energy going up and down and up and down and being out there in pads for 6.5 hours, 6 hours, whatever it was. That's hard to keep it going, right? That's hard as a young man. It's hard as an adult man. I was tired. I'm like, I told Ty I was so mad that he threw 2 times in a row. We had an incompletion. I'm like, can we get out of here, dude? Can we put the ball on the ground? We don't need to work on stuff right now. Put the freaking ball on the ground and let's go.
All right, that makes 2 of us.
I was tired.
Because I said that from the stands. I go, why are we throwing the football? I literally said that.
I was like, and then honestly, I was just like, put the ball on the ground. Let's go. So that's what we did the rest of the game. But yeah, I think we were all tired. I think it's hard to get energy up, energy down, energy up. And you're like hype up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I thought they did a decent job for what was thrown at them, right?
Well, what's crazy is you start talking about the time of night for these kids. And all I can think about is, I remember when I was 30, 39, 40 still playing and coming into the New York Giants locker room, glancing at the clock, it was 10:45 on a Monday night football game. And I'm like, I'm in bed by now. And we're going out for a second half.
I'm usually scrolling through like Instagram reels at this time. Like I should not be on a football field. Yeah.
All right, so I need to know what's the hat? A couple non-SCA questions.
Yeah, fancy hats.
This is the girls' flag football hat. Yeah, this is the girls' flag football hat.
And they're going to be good this year. They're going to be
I think they're going to be real good. I think they're like I seriously love watching them. There's a couple coaches yesterday, not to veer off track, but like they can catch the ball, they're athletic, they're fluid, like they're not like the girls of old, man. These girls are getting such better athletes nowadays. It's awesome. You know, the girls
I'm gonna let you get in trouble on that one. I've been in enough trouble today. But didn't they finish? Didn't they finish high last year in the playoffs? Didn't they make a big playoff run?
I think they were a semifinal team. I think
that's
they
what
lost
I thought.
in the semifinals.
I want to say they went pretty far in the playoffs. That was
their first year.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other question, non-SCA related, the Bears finishing 3rd or 4th in the NFC North.
First.
Mike.
He says that. So I've been sitting down and going through every NFL record because I'm just going to chart every game and decide who records what. It's been this huge project I've been working on, and so I've gone to, after I grade a team, I'll go and I'll search it. There are 4 or 5 national reporters saying the Bears are winning 11 games this year.
Listen.
I got dinner at Steak 44. They don't win 11.
Listen. Okay. I can't be betting in first place for that. But listen, this is what I'm gonna say. And this is the first time after all these years that I actually believe what I'm saying. I think with Johnson, obviously the new head coach, much better. I think they took care of their interior of the offensive line, which is so important. Guard, center, guard. They upgraded. They got Tooney. Like they have great players now. I think Caleb, with better coaching, he's got everyone around him, and I think our defense is formidable. So I do think they're going to compete with everybody. I do feel like they're first or second, most likely second, but I think they're a playoff team this year. I do. And I think Caleb Williams, as much as I'm not a fan of some of the theatrics and the finger painting and all that stuff, hey, man, as long as you go ball and you stop worrying about that stuff and start playing football, I think he could be pretty dang good. I do.
So my question is, I know you probably got Bears friends and text threads and all that. Do you guys have a bet on what color fingernail polish he's wearing for the first game?
No. But you know what? I honestly, this is how I kind of relate things. Like I'm big into football cards now, which is super nerdy, right? Like I buy and sell football cards. Caleb Williams cards are skyrocketing right now. Yeah. So that means the market for him is good and people are going to think he's going to have a good year overall. Like it's like the stock market. So watch. Caleb's going to have a huge year. Huge
Hype is expectations is a deadly thing, Coach. Just remember that.
It is. It actually really is. And I think, not many people think like like you said, the media. There's only like 4 or 5. Not many people think they're going to be good.
Well,
I think they're going to surprise.
I have them at 8 wins when I did my exercise, with everybody. In
I'll
that
do
division.
the over under on that. I'll take
I'd
that all
take-
day with you for dinner. I will take that all day with you.
Oh.
Senior
Over
taco,
8?
you get whatever you want at
Over
Senior
8.
Taco.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, easy.
All right.
No, I'm in.
You know what? Yeah, I won't. She won't shame me for the other tacos or nothing. I'm gonna go full soft tacos
Yeah,
again.
you get whatever you want.
$6
No
a
judgment.
pop. All right, you say over 8.
What is 8 a push? Is 8 a push?
8. We'll say 8's a push.
It's push. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Senior
All right.
taco. I'm shaking.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, I gotta move over.
I'm shaking.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I
Dale,
think,
I will not do steak 44.
but I'm not
I'll
going to
take
say
you
they're going to
Senior
make the
Taco if you want that
playoffs
too.
because of the wild card situation and stuff like that. But they should be improved. Coaching, whether you say it or not, and you probably know this, or you're going to at least take credit for it. But coaching's bigger in football than people give it credit for. A bad coach will ruin a team. And how many times do you see it where a coach leaves and then all of a sudden you get good for a year or two because with the same players and things like that? So I think the coach is going to make a big difference. A big difference there.
I do too. I think coaching is people kind of don't credit as much as possible. I think Dale probably knows when you had Jimmy, who was awesome, right? You had Barry, and all of a sudden you guys kind of went down after Barry with the leftovers, right? So you can tell the difference, right? But I think coaching it's a huge part of the game because it's half the time it's not skill set, it's just how you get the culture to work together. That's the big
Are
thing.
you watching the Cowboys Netflix special?
I need to watch it because I've seen Kendall's put like 30 pictures of you. I
I
gotta
know.
get out there and watch it. I haven't had much time to watch it.
I feel like
honestly.
I've watched it with
I
how
have-
much posts she's put up there.
I know. I was like, I saw a big Dale in the background looking like a behemoth. I love it, dude. I love when the games are on and he's the first one down there and everybody else makes a tackle. And I always see Dale go and tap the guy who got tackled just to get in there. Get a little,
Hey,
get a little
jump on the piles and assist, baby.
Yeah, you got to make sure he's down, Mike. Right? You got to tap on the shoulder,
He
make sure
would
he's
get
down.
an ankle or something. He's like, I love it though. He was usually the first one down there. The big old dude, cowboy collar on, or what did you have? A neck roll or a cowboy collar? I think it was a neck
No,
roll,
it was a
right?
neck roll. We didn't have cowboy
The big old
collar back
foam
then.
thing
Yeah.
coming out like it was a beautiful thing. Just a beautiful man.
Hey, good luck this week.
Yeah, it's
Oh, thank you. We'll
on
see
a
what we
Friday
got.
night, right?
Yeah, Friday night, finally, normal Friday night. And then next week we go to retreat and it's a Saturday. Next Wednesday will probably be tough for me to
Yeah,
be honest.
I was gonna actually text you later or call you. So I was gonna say don't big time me because I wanted to get that schedule down and everything so we know what we do because I knew that was coming up and whatnot. So we'll get that figured out and then I have some huddle questions. I want to make sure I don't ruin your guys' film with what my plans are here with it. So
just don't write on it.
Yeah, I just
Bro,
told
does
him
make
that. He's
sense?
going,
Like,
I was going to start
they'll be putting
circling
notes on it.
stuff.
All of a
Yeah,
sudden, it's like with notes on it. Like,
yeah, I know, right? So no, I'll just confirm some things with because I had these plans. I was all doing it. And I'm like, I better make sure that I'm not the only one that can see this because I was like stupid coach decision right here on the screen. And,
Right.
you know, I can't-
This is wrong right here. What are they doing
At,
here?
at the
What are
end,
they
you'll
doing
see me
here?
go, why are you throwing the football? It's 11:15
Oh yeah,
at
that's just
night.
fair. It's good because we asked the same thing, so I did. So it's good.
By the way, scoreboard. I know that was a temporary one. Holy cow. The money at SCA must be nice there, Mike.
Wait till you see. I'll send you a video of the new. Like we got the new one's kind of like up. So it didn't get totally done right.
Yeah.
It started to get put in on Monday, so they brought the other one. That thing is, I honestly, I think it's the biggest and best in the valley now, and it was like a dream of mine. It was. I think Dale's knows I was talking about it. I don't know why. Like I just want SCA to be the place to be and have the best possible things for these kids. So it's 20 feet by 16 feet and it's 1.3 million bulbs. It is a gigantic HD TV and it finally got going last night. The video is so clear. Like it's almost absurd. Like people are going to be like, oh, these people in Scottsdale. But you know what? Like we raised a lot of money. There's businesses that help us out. There's sponsorships. So it's
Till your field
it's a
goal
blessing.
kicker kicks one right into the front of it there and blows out half the bowl.
I'll kill him. So I think I actually had a talk with the school. I'm like, we need to protect an asset. Probably put a net up around there. Figure it out.
Well,
So
because you
we'll figure
kicked,
that out.
I think it was Pima kicked one and went into the neighbor's yard. So
Yes,
when
that's
somebody's
what I'm
climbing a
saying.
fence, Dale, to go get a ball back from the neighborhood.
I know the kid goes, "Where do I go get that?" I'm like, "Yeah, jump the fence, just don't get shot." So yeah, you're fine.
But the temporary one, because they were doing a graphic there on, graphic of Pima and in Scottsdale Christian and doing a graphic there. And I was just like, This is going to be nice if this is going to be anywhere near that. And most importantly,
That
a lot of schools
Yeah,
have
that one
stuff where
was
you
not
can't
even
read
close.
like the down and distance and stuff like that, and it's big enough, it was bright enough that you could see all that. So it is going to look sharp. So give you some credit on that as well, and give you a hard time for the price of
that's
that bad
fair.
boy
I
right
deserve
there.
it all. I deserve it all, especially the hard time on everything.
Good luck this weekend. I'm not going to make it out there. That's my car will not make it
Fair.
out there and back in with one charge.
That's fair.
Kidding. I got to go out.
Well,
I got to
you
go.
see, probably true. You got to stop. That's why I get a gas guzzler, man. If the apocalypse happens, I'll just have to pick you up. I'll be out in the middle of this desert, and everybody else in these little EV things will be on the side of the road with a thumb up, and I'll just wave with my gas.
I know. I'll be out to borrow Ethan's car to get out there and everything.
The
but
power's
Me and
out
Dale
of
will
my
just
house.
wave as we go by.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I got to go to Desert Ridge this weekend and support those guys with their new head coach over there and their Palm squad for family reasons. So, but I'll check it out. I'll see it all on the Huddle app and whatever. But I'll talk to you later on. Have a good game this week. And man, you guys are getting rid up all over the place after last week. So you keep playing like that, it'll keep. Even with the big boys playing, you guys will still get a lot of love if you keep playing like that. So,
I think so. I think we got a chance to do something special. So I think people want to kind of watch it a little bit, right? So
yep. Yeah, they're welcome on the bandwagon right behind me.
Good luck.
I love it. Let's go. Hey, we'll take them all because they drop off fast as soon as you start to lose. So we'll take the run now.
Well,
You know
that's
what I
true.
mean? So
That is very true. We'll see you next week, or we'll talk later on and get the schedule. But otherwise, have a good week. All right.
sounds good. I'll talk to you.
See ya. Have a good one. And then Dale, so that's fun. And I have some video, man. I have some of those hits that, some of those guys are making on Huddle Live. Like I said, I would have had them for today, but I was like, I think I might be messing up their game film. So I stopped so I can figure out what to do there.
I would not write anything on there.
I'm not going to write stuff, but just highlighting some hits to download them and stuff like that. But, it was a good game. They're physical. And it was good to see. So hopefully weather stays away this week, of course, with lightning and that stuff out there in Tonopah because they have kind of the opposite situation. But, appreciate everybody sticking with us today with those technical difficulties. I've never seen Zoom take down our feed before. All we did was reboot the computer, Dale, and everything worked. But let's wrap it up here with Diamondbacks talk really quick here. Brandon Pfaadt. Do we have a Brandon Pfaadt issue? Do we have a starting pitching issue with these guys and Torey? Torey's getting a lot of love with how this team's been playing, younger and stuff like that. But we've seen two different starting pitchers go 2 innings and then out of the game, giving up a lot of earned.
And then they come back and they get close and then they lose. So you're going to get credit as a manager that your team's still playing hard even though you're fading out of the playoffs. I believe when I hear Mike Hazen talk that they believe they put this team at a disadvantage at the trade deadline by trading away guys. So
they're keeping Torey.
I have a feeling your boy Torey's coming back for another year.
Just the way they are talking. Then Tim Kirchin yesterday did a local interview, and he was like, I wouldn't get rid of him. He's a great young manager, and you need managers like this. And it's like, oh, no, here comes the narrative of keep Torey. Here's the problem. They use 6 actually. Well, if I could count. 5 relief pitchers yesterday. Of course, they got to play again. Look, the Brewers are a tough team. There's no shame in getting swept by the Brewers with the way they're playing. But doesn't it hurt a little bit, Dale? They had the young guy out there yesterday, 5 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, did give up the 1 home run and 3 earned runs. It was fun watching him pitch against the Diamondbacks. But isn't it just an insult when you trade Shelby Miller and boom, there he is getting the save last night, Dale? Getting the save.
It doesn't really matter who gets a save anymore.
You
Shelby, just kind of know it's going to
Yeah,
happen.
but you're not catching on what I'm saying here. You traded Shelby Miller as a salary dump with Jordan Montgomery to Milwaukee, and Shelby Miller goes out there and beats you last night. That's have fun with that. Hey, really quick, umpires, don't be spineless little weasels. We've had this talk before. I don't know what you're doing.
How do you kick a guy out after he's already been taken out?
If you don't know what we're talking about, well, here's the end of it. It was a whole game thing, by the way. He allowed Juan Soto to call time when he's in his windup, which you're not allowed to do, and the umpire did it earlier. Obviously, some issues. Here's the play if you missed it. When he gets pulled from the game, barks at the umpire, and watch this childish move.
He's whooping at the umpire. And Luzardo's just been ejected from the game after being pulled from the game.
And then gives him the dissatisfied look of, what? Don't talk to me like that. You're going to act all
like
tough
a parent.
there.
It's like a parent.
Yeah. Let him just walk off. Let him bark. You know he's going to be mad. You know you messed up calling time when you shouldn't have. Let him bark at you. He's leaving the game anyway. Just to throw him out. You're just doing a power trip at that point, you spineless weasel as an umpire. You showed him. Dale, take us out with something positive.
Congratulations to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I can't wait for the nuptials. Travis, get it done quick because Steve seems to be hot on your tail. And nothing but the best.
All I know is that I have a text from Taylor that says if me and Travis don't work out, you're next. Want me to show you guys?
You took a bigger shovel. Autumn, I'm sorry.
No,
Autumn, I'm
I
sorry.
keep telling Taylor, I'm spoken for. Sorry.
Autumn, I'm sorry.
Taylor, take your billions and your massive following. Who wants that in their lives? You know what I said to Taylor? I said, Taylor, I have a responsibility to Dale, Kobe, Riley, Coach Sheehan, Uncle Lou. Every week, I have a responsibility, and
Isn't there one name you're missing?
I take care of. Wait, who did I forget? I said you.
Autumn.
Oh no, I'm talking about here. Here.
Autumn. You should start every sentence with
Okay,
Autumn.
but I'm talking about specifically here, and I'm like, Taylor, I have a responsibility to these people at work, and I care about them, and in this job that we do here and everything, and I can't just leave them to go get engaged when cut day's coming. I got to be there for him and everything.
I want to know if Riley's okay or if he's in a heap of tears for a little snafu.
That was tame. Me and Riley will talk later on. Come on back tomorrow, folks. McCollum on Business coming up at 11 o'clock as well. Appreciate you joining us. See y'all tomorrow, everyone.